Hello, friends. Goeiemorgen, goeiemorgen. Chad, good morning, baby. How's everyone doing this morning? 1G and a black screen. Hope you guys had an awesome weekend. Kigo moved into his new place. Massive congrats to Kigo. Gotta choose either car or property, Chad. And I think he made the right choice there. Took a little bit of convincing. But I think the man made the right choice. But guys, I hope you had an incredible weekend. Hope you had a good Valentine's Day. If you don't have a Valentine, that's also right. You can focus. Let me just get this. What is going on here, gents? Rixie, good morning, good morning. Chad, who blew their account already? I can feel somebody in the chat blew their account, and its markets haven't even opened up yet. Talk to me. You had a terrible week last week. You waited for the market open, and now your week is already terrible. This is a safe space. Talk to me. Who blew their account? Donnie Pretorius, goeiemorgen my friend. Hoop het gaan goed, champ. I can feel it, Chad. I feel these things. Talk to me. Who has already ruined their trading week? You've already taken like 5 trades. That account is gone. Your psychology is down the drain. Talk to me. I know somebody did that. I appreciate the honesty there, my brother. I really appreciate the honesty. How do you feel now? It feels terrible, eh? It feels terrible. That is where that death loop comes in that I speak about. If you go on our YouTube channel under videos, you'll see the death loop of traders, where I talk about this death loop. And if you are not aware of the death loop, it's like you blind to it. You will stay in that death loop, and you'll just continue that cycle. You'll never get out of that cycle up until you stop and you look at what you've been doing and then realize, okay, flip, I'm in this death loop. Chris, flip the camera. Okay, sorry, Jax. It was when I put up the screen. Getting off face there. So go check out that video. All right. If you already made mistakes and the markets haven't even opened up yet, you don't have to wait till next week Monday to change. You can literally change now already. Okay. You can already stop trading for the rest of the day. You can go and watch that video. And once you come back from that video, you can start fresh. Okay. That's the beauty of trading. You need to have a long enough memory to remember the good things and the bad things so you don't repeat them, but also short enough memory for a bad trading day, a bad trading session, a bad trading week to not affect you the next week. So this is the thing about trading. Last week's trades is last week's trades. We learn from them. We take the good, we take the bad, and this week is a clean slate. We don't trade the P&L. We're not trying to make back money. We're not trying to make more money or anything else. Our main focus this week is to trade well, take our setups according to our strategy, according to our plan, manage the trades according to our plan. And if we do all of that, we should come out all right at the end of the week. Okay. I hope that makes sense to you guys, but I'm just delaying here because I can only do a market analysis for so long. But before we start, chat, we're going to pray here. Hope you guys are ready for the week. Let's just bow our heads, let's quiet down, and let's just quickly pray here. Father, I just want to thank you for another week. Thank you for bringing us all back safely here on this Monday. I pray that you will be with us during this week. I pray for every trader that watches the stream. Pray for every member that engages with this community. I pray that you will give us wisdom, insight, guidance, protection as we go about our trading this week. I pray that you will be with us this entire week. I pray for our families. I pray for our businesses. I pray for our communities, our country. I pray that your hand will be over it all, Father. I just want to thank you for an incredible week that is ahead already in advance, good or bad. Thank you for your grace and your mercies that are new every single day when we wake up. And we just want to honor you and glorify your name in everything we do. We pray this and we ask this not because we deserve it, because we don't deserve anything good, but yet your grace and your mercies are new every single day. We pray this and we ask this in the mighty name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And those that believe it can drop an amen right now. Do we have anyone that believes it? Amen. Okay, with two or more gathered. Brethren, I do not count myself to have apprehended, but one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forward to those things which are ahead. Amen. Amen. Chad, let's have a look at what's happening today. Nothing much. We've got Chinese New Year, and we also have President's Day in the US and in Canada. All right, so bank holiday. I don't know what's not showing here, but it is very much a bank holiday in Canada, and that is very, very weird that it's not showing. But anyways, Chinese New Year Eve as well. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at Sunday. Yes, Monday. There's it. Okay. So going to be a relatively flat Monday. Not expecting too much. Tuesday, we've got some data coming out of Britain. Labor market data. Wednesday, we've got... I don't know who's in New Zealand, but we've got some monetary policy statements and rate decisions coming out there. CPI out of Britain expected to come out a little bit softer than previous. I don't think inflation comes out softer while we've got Brian in the UK. All right, so they will need to deport Brian before that inflation is coming down. Thursday, we've got some data coming out of Australia. And Friday is the big one. A lot of PMIs coming out of the Eurozone. A lot of inflation indicators coming out of the US GDP. All of that beautiful stuff. So Friday is going to be quite a big one. Okay. So let's get straight into the day, ladies and gents. Let's see what is cooking here on the decks for us. All right. Gold. Not gold. Dollar index. Okay. Last week closing strong bearish, and we are trading right up against a weekly support level. However, if we look at the following, you can see that last week break, retest, rejection, bearish engulfing. I would expect us now to actually continue lower on the dollar. All right, but we've got this weekly zone there, and then on the daily time frame, let's see what is happening on the daily. Daily is relatively range bound, and we're gonna have to wait for a daily break and confirmation outside of it. What do I mean by a daily break and a confirmation? We're gonna need to see a daily candle close either above or below, and then we're gonna need to have a consecutive daily candle close above the zone, because that confirms that we have actually found acceptance out of the range. Okay, because what could happen is, I think you guys would have seen it a lot in your trading, is that you break out of the range, it gets everyone excited, and we just close back inside of the range. Okay, so dollar neutral. Obviously no dollar transactions today, bank holiday, and what I'm looking at here currently is obviously this major weekly zone. We've got EQ there. We've got our point of control down here. So I'm going to say if we can hold above Asia highs and EQ, I would expect us to go bullish. Otherwise, I do expect some bearish continuations to the downside for the dollar. Next up is gold. Let's have a look at what gold is doing. Gold on the weekly. Very, very interesting. It's been 3 weeks trading at this yearly R1. Okay, 3 consecutive weeks that we failed to close above it, so it's obviously a major level. On a weekly time frame, if we get a closure above this yearly R1, then it's off to the races. We're going yearly R2. Very, very simple, but up until then we first need to get through this level. From a weekly perspective, I am bullish. We closed bullish, 2 consecutive weekly candles bullish. That confirms a support. And then secondly, we've got a nice candle closure above that bearish candle there. So on a weekly bullish, Daily time frame still for me is a little iffy, guys. It's very range bound. Jeremy, thank you so much, my brother. Let me just grab that on. Jeremy, thank you so much for that dono. Beautiful, beautiful. From a daily perspective, we are very choppy. I actually told the Project G members this morning, we haven't really had any follow through. So bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. Today maybe bearish, I don't know. But relatively neutral on the daily. Okay. We've got this daily zone marked out there. You can see that Friday started to hold above it, and now this morning starting to hold below it. And for me, effectively, we are still very much range bound. Wait, and if I do something like this, perhaps, don't know if we can even do this. Can we do that? Can we maybe do something like this? Maybe. Okay. Little Crebo trades there. So we're currently pushing bullish from these lows after data. And we've got a little bit of a counter trend here. Okay. Not going to charge you anything for this counter trend. And what I'm seeing is that most of our volume traded at Asia high. And now we've got most probably what's going to happen in the next couple of minutes, unless this starts to break through this low volume node there, is that our point of control is going to shift to this zone. Okay. So two things I'm looking for here. I'm either looking for us to consolidate here around the 200. And then I want to see something like that. New high on the session, first pullback, buy it. Or what we're going to see is that we're actually going to break lower a little bit later on gold. I actually prefer the latter, just looking at yields. Yields are quite strongly down. Look at that. So looking at where yields are trading, let's quickly look at gold. Okay, let's do this quickly for you guys. Okay. So you can see that as yields come down, gold has consecutively been going up. Okay. So with yields on the low, gold is not at the highs. So that is quite interesting to monitor for the weeks coming up ahead. So I am going to say I would like this scenario. But we're going to see once we open up 10 minutes. US 30. Not looking good for the bulls. All right. And the reason I say that is we took all-time highs. We failed in quite spectacular fashion. And we closed back inside of this range. All right. So unless the bulls really step it up this week, I would expect us to come bearish. Okay. So monitor this area right here. This is going to be your pivot for the week. See that area there? Rejection, breakout, retest. Now we need to see if we hold there. Okay. Let's do this. Daily. Friday. So first pullback after this new high. I'm going to be super bullish on US 30 once we get above there. Whether we get above there, I don't know. If we close bullish today, beautiful. Support confirmed. That weekly breakout level confirmed as well. And then off to the races. obviously bank holiday, so I'm not 100% sure how futures will trade, but looking at it currently, looking bullish. We've got a nice little point of control there, but I'm not going to waste your time during London with it. And then NASDAQ weekly, bears absolutely in control now. Okay, there we can see it. Nice rejection there. We've got another range zone there, and I would expect NAS to trade down to this level this week. Okay, on the daily, confirmed resistance here. This resistance is well and truly confirmed, and from a daily perspective, again, same thing. I'm expecting NAS to come and test this 200 EMA later in the week. And then on the lower time frame, again, not too much to work with. Very, very choppy price action on Friday. Look at that. Very overlapping. So we're going to need to see some clear direction. But as it stands, we can argue that it's looking relatively bullish while we hold above here. Okay. Holds above here, bullish, but Chad. And then Bitcoin, some of you guys asking me about Bitcoin over the weekend. Chris, is the bottom in this, that? No. This is on a weekly time frame. That is your yearly S1. That is your weekly 200 EMA. This is just what I mentioned, the line in the sand. If buyers don't step in here, 100% we are going here next. Right there, yearly S2. And that is ultimately where I think buyers would start to step in. 44,000. If you loved Bitcoin at 120, if you loved Bitcoin at 96, you loved Bitcoin at 66, you're absolutely going to love it at 44. Okay, this is where you're going to truly fall in love with it. But this is basically what I meant by is this right here. If bulls don't step in here, same as with what happened here at the pivot. So let's see here. We already had one test, two tests. If bulls don't get it out of this minor range here, we are going to buy it cheap at 44. All right. So just for the guys asking. But Chad, that is the rapid fire analysis. I see I've got a little bit of a lag on my camera, but that shouldn't be too bad. We are just going to wait now for the open 5 minutes. Hope you guys are ready. Okay. Let's see. Speedy moments. Good morning. No stream this afternoon. We'll do a double tomorrow for you guys. I completely forgot about President's Day. President's Day and Family Day in Canada. Then guys, free trading strategies seminar on the 23rd of Feb at 4 o'clock the afternoon. It is free of charge. Okay. We're going to chat a little bit about a few strategies. We're going to chat about strategy development. We're going to chat about the various strategies that exist within the market. And the idea is not necessarily to force you to trade one strategy, but the idea is in that session to show you that a lot of strategies all look at the same thing, just from a different perspective. So once you understand the core fundamentals of trading, you're gonna see that a lot of the things you already know all tie in with one another. Chris, there's a playlist. It's just a random cue. Wow, my brother, are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying it? So yeah, make sure you register for that. I actually had a poll in my Instagram channel, and that was the one thing everyone wanted to see more of or struggled with: trading strategies. So after that, I'll do another poll. So go check on my Instagram if you haven't done so already. If you go into my bio, you're gonna see at the bottom there's actually a section. It's called the desk. We are currently 654 members strong, on our way to 1,000. And there I just share some stuff and also get some insights from you guys. So you guys must let me know. But let's get through the trading strategies. Also have a special guest lined up for you guys. So go check there. And I think I want to do a special giveaway once we hit 1,000 members on that channel. Once we hit 1,000, I'm going to do a nice giveaway for you guys. Chad, with that being said, markets are open and in motion, baby. This is the official round one of the new week. Hope you guys are already locked in and loaded. Ding, ding, ding. Fight. Alrighty. Not expecting fireworks, but we'll see. Not expecting any lights to be shot out here. So if you go onto the 2G's website, for those guys, you can go and register. You can go and register for the seminar there under the seminars tab. And then also, if you want to grab the gold automation, you guys can go and check out that page right there. Okay. Gold Sentinel. It has been doing very, very well. And let me just be very clear on it, guys, that it is not going to work miracles. There's no EA that's going to turn your 1,000 Rand into R1,000,000 Rand. Okay. The unfortunate thing with trading is you need money to make money. Are we back? Yo, the lag is bad on this camera. There's this false expectation that trading is for people with little money to make a lot of money. If you see a trader making X amount of money on Instagram and it's legitimate, he's got a little bit of money in his account that he's risking. Okay, there's no special source for 1 to 100 risk reward trades. It's all a case of building. And that's the issue that's keeping a lot of you guys back, is the fact that you don't want to grind it out while you've got little capital. You want to jump from here financially. Let's say that 1,000 Rand you're trading with, you want to leap from making 100 Rand a trade, or even 50 Rand a trade, you want to leap to 100k. But there is a road you need to walk to get to that level. And unless you walk that road, there's no shortcuts to go from here to there. As much as you would want to fool the system to get there, no. That's where prop firms come in. You can take that 8,000 Rand that you wanted to trade with, and you can very well make a 50 or 100k. All right, that is very possible. But that $1,000 you're depositing, stay the course. Okay. How do we trust this brokers, bro? I withdraw all my cash from the broker. I don't know what broker you are referring to, my brother. And when it comes to trust, first and foremost, you need to look at whether the broker is regulated. Secondly, test out a broker with a little bit of money. See what the conditions are like. And then make a decision from there. If there's obviously dubious stuff happening, like we saw with the Indian trader, denying his payout, which I think is absolutely disgusting. Then obviously the broker is I don't know. I think I follow him. I honestly don't know. I've never really looked into him. Trades by side. A lot of guys say everything he does is fake. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Does he sell a mentorship? I don't think he sells a mentorship, eh? Hey, Pitman. No prop firm accounts. Yeah, you can't run on prop firm accounts. Viper, how are you? Yeah, I've never looked into trades by side. Yeah, broker choice is completely up to regulation. It's completely up to your experience. Big thing for me when it comes to a broker, obviously there's a few things. Ease of depositing money. How difficult is it to deposit money? How easy is it to withdraw? Okay. and then obviously trading conditions. Okay, so for that reason, we trade with XM. Okay, XM was one of the very few brokers that I know that did not restrict trading on gold. No, we're just waiting here, my brother. Not buying anything now. Goat Funder Trader. I've never looked into them. I know the owner. I think he was an ex professional soccer player, if I'm not mistaken. He's got his own prop tech company as well that provides CRM services, but in actual looking at Goat Funder Trader, no. No. The EA does not use the Iron 2K strat, my brother. It works off a different... No water here. It works off a different... Yeah, the prop firm is I think is in a good place in terms of my Forex funds winning that case. I think it just adds a lot of legitimacy back into the industry. Why I'm so against prop firms doing certain stuff, especially locally, and I've even engaged with one of the local prop firm owners, and I said, like, giving tips and advice, and I said it's not a case of your prop firm needs to go down in order for our prop firm to go up. I said no, it's the prop firm space is very new, and collectively, if prop firms aren't doing good business, what's going to happen is, even let's say there's prop firm A. Let's use an example. 2 prop firms in South Africa now. We've got prop firm A and we've got prop firm B. Prop firm A gives the best trading execution for clients. It gives it honors payouts. There's nothing that's trying to screw over the trader, and everyone has a very good experience with prop firm A. But now you've got prop firm B. So prop firm A is doing everything it can in its ability to provide a good service and to bolster the image of prop firms locally. Then you've got prop firm B, which is doing everything in its ability to make sure that it does not provide a fair opportunity to traders. Everything is designed to basically be an obstruction to traders making money and passing, and just absolutely destroying the experience for a prop trader. Now, do you think this is good for the prop firm space collectively? Because here's the thing, it's not a zero-sum game. Because what's actually happening here, because the space is still so new, is that this prop firm here is actually harming the entire ecosystem in South Africa. Because what's going to happen is, oh no, I don't trust local prop firms. This one was cuck and I have to hold for 10 minutes and then I can't make more than this and I'm capped at making so much profit, and now they're giving accounts for $5 and this, and oh, this just looks like a scam. And then you've got this prop firm that's doing everything to the T. There's good conditions, you can scalp, you can do everything. Everything is there for you to succeed. And sometimes I'm like, wow. So this is not good. So the win for my Forex funds, I think, is good for the space. G-Man, it's completely up to you, my brother. Like I mentioned, you've got traders that will do well on a prop firm. They can trade prop firms well because psychologically the risk is basically capped at the cost you're paying for the prop firm account. And then you've got traders that don't do well with prop firms based off the rules, and they will trade better personal. Okay, so it's completely up to you, my brother. There's a lot of traders that will do well on prop firms, but they wouldn't be able to make that transition to personal. Because psychologically, on a $100,000 account, let's say the account costs you $600. Once you get that account live, technically that's your risk. But now on a personal account, when you start risking $1,000 per trade, or even $2,000 on your personal account, the psychology changes. Okay. So if I give you technically $10,000 to trade personally, and you've got $10,000 to lose on a prop firm account, some guys won't be able to make that shift. And it's just a fact. Because they've conditioned their minds psychologically to just get the account live, then full send it, and just rinse and repeat. So you will get traders that will not do well. So it's completely up to you guys. If you are somebody that struggles with delayed gratification, prop firms are going to be tough for you because you might spend, it might be a 6-week, 8-week process before you get any monetary return on it. And a lot of guys lose focus, lose motivation. Where with a live account, no matter how small, even if it's $1,000 and you make $200, you can immediately take that $200 and you are rewarded. So it's almost like, I don't want to say it's like working a 9 to 5, but imagine you're working for a boss and your boss says like, I don't know if I'm paying you every month or every 2 months. You might work 3 months without pay. It's just a case of we'll need to see how it goes. Like you're gonna, at one stage, gonna be like, yo, I'm putting in the work for no pay. This is not lacquer. What I'm looking for is I want to see what type of direction we get around this zone right here. So I want to see if you can see that the 200 EMA is relatively flatlined. So I want to see gold either giving us, I either want to see us start creating some structure to the upside, something like this. Or I want to see us start breaking down. But as it stands, it's relatively neutral here for me. No entry yet, my brother. We gotta wait. Gotta wait. No entries yet. So yeah, in terms of personal or prop, that's what I would say. You gotta find what works for you. Pre quarter 3R now on US 30 with the inversion play. It's in the chart flex. Chay. Rixie. Ruka. Dum, 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 dum. Now, 3R means that if he risked 1,000 Rand, he made 3,000 Rand. So it's basically the R stand, you can think of it as the R standing for risk. So if you say that you're risking 1R to make 3R, it's just basically 3 times what you risk. That's what you're making. That's why this is why it's important to talk in terms of R, because you would hear traders saying that, oh, we killed it this week, we made 1,200 points. Now 1,200 points sounds incredible. It's like, wow, 1,200 points. But let's say every trade he took, he risked 1,200 points. That is technically 1R. But let's say he only risked every trade he took 200 points. That is now a 6R. So which one is more impressive? The 1R or the 6R? That's why it's always, especially when, I don't want to say when you want to market your trades, like R is the best way to give somebody an idea, because that is your, I don't want to say your risk adjusted return. So if you said you made 100 pips this week, but every time you took a trade, you risked 500 pips, that's a 0.2R. That's a very inefficient trading strategy. So before the negative RR traders, I'm not saying it cannot work. I'm just saying it's inefficient. Before the guys jump at me, trade your negative RR. I'm just saying it's, before the boys jump at us again. Because the thing is, negative RR traders are very sensitive. They're very, very sensitive people. You will actually see them cry in the shower as well. They are the guys that cry in the shower. But yeah, that's why it's always important to understand that. So if somebody again posts on Instagram, your market killed, destroyed this week, 1,200 points, ask them what was their risk per trade, what is the R. Then a lot of times you would see it was only like 3R, which is not bad. I'm not saying that's horrific, but it's obviously a marketing thing. Nah, man, this martingale is shit, my bro. I think the best for you is to, as quickly as possible, learn how to trade properly. Martingale is cuck, my dude. Don't even get used to it. Yeah, Sid, yeah, they are actually the guys that they squat, they put their feet on the toilet seat. Madness, the thing is, you can do it. I had a martingale, I think it was 6-7 years ago, a hybrid martingale that would buy and sell. It worked for almost 2 years, 2.5 years on Euro USD. Because the market, the thing about a martingale is that it works on the efficiency of markets with the idea that we will at least have some type of pullback. So while the martingale is building long positions here, it's with the idea that we will pull back and eventually close in a profit. But then after 2.5 years, let me just show you what happened. We went into a multi-month bullish cycle on Euro USD, and that entire account, I think I grew it from like $5,000 to about $60,000. That entire account got blown. Just want to show you here. So that's why I say it's not a strategy, my brother. There's a lot better strategies to learn. So it was basically, yeah. So yeah, that martingale strategy, absolutely, I thought, yo, this is it right here. In here, beautiful, A+. And then this happened. This is a week, remember, this is a weekly time frame. Now you're busy selling here, and this thing I think ran 1,400, almost 2,000 pips. Boom, account gone. Then again, went into this little bit of a overlapping cycle here. There the martingale will do well, and boom, martingale gone. So when I say these things, it's not that I'm trying to be an idiot. I've just been through all of it. Okay. So when I say I wouldn't build my trading career on trading martingale, you're building on sand there, my brother. So no, minus if you, here's the thing, nothing wrong with doing it on the side, but like I said, I wouldn't build a trading career on it. So while you can milk it 100%, but I would say take that money then, or have that churning on the side, and then develop your strategy so you become proficient. But the martingale is not a good strategy, my brother. Because you're going to get into a stage where you No, Sham. I was I think it was actually with IC markets. What do you think about ARA spot? I don't know ARA spot. The O's want the entries. The Owens. The gents want to enter. Just find a trade and full margin it. That is unfortunately the case in South Africa and globally, is that trading is synonymous with gambling, and it is to a very large degree. People have no idea the leverage that's there. Gives you the opportunity to make a lot of money from small money, but I promise you that 500 Rand you every time depositing, then trying to hit a home run of like 3K, you will actually go back, if you go back on your broker statements, the amount of times you've hit this little 3K run and the amount of times you deposited, you're not even close to being break even. It's that gambler's fallacy. Like you just don't see that 500 going off every time. But if you go and add all of these little 500 rands you've been depositing, you're going to be like, shit, I could have already done something better with that money. I would say weekly. So when I went full-time trading, I had the wrong idea. I told you guys my idea was to build a big trading account, which is the wrong way of doing it. My idea was like, I want to build this big trading account, and when I risk 0.1% of the account, it's like 100,000 Rand, whatever. I had this beautiful plan drawn up. But when you go full-time, you can keep your money in a money market investment, whatever it is. Let's say you start off with R1 million and you're comfortable at taking 20,000 Rand risk per trade. Then all you do is, if you know you're going to take, say, 2 trades per session, then you just load your account with 40k. Okay? And you size accordingly so that you risk 20k. Alright. The first thing it does is that mentally you're not seeing that big amount in the account. And secondly, let's say something happens, the market swooshes down, you get slipped, whatever. Your risk is controlled. Okay, so trade, then even I would say withdraw daily. You risk your 20k to make 40k, whatever. You take out your 40k, you start off the next day again with your 20 or 40k in the account. Let's say you lost 20k, then you just top it up back to 40k, and you just keep doing that. And then later on, let's say you've built your kitty now and you're sitting on 2 million. And now you're like, okay, I am now ready to take 40k risk per trade. So I'm going to load the account with 80k because I'm taking 40k risk per trade. And that's how you do it. I would never suggest you try building a trading account. Build your bank balance, and according to what you can lose and what you're comfortable with losing, you put that into your trading account. Because your capital in your trading account is just a tool. I've said it so many times. It is just a tool for you to get in your trade, have sufficient margin, and get out of your trade. Charles, you can start with any size. I do suggest with the volatility we've got on gold is that if you're going to deposit anything less than, say, $2,000 to open up a micro account. So anything less than $2,000, I suggest a micro account. I actually want to say anything less than $5,000. If gold starts to move like it moved a couple of weeks ago, can absolutely destroy some dreams. Yeah, I would suggest the way that I do it is to have a money market account, so that even though you're not trading, at least it's earning interest. Maybe not a lot. I think it's like 4%. But that money at least is doing a little bit of work there. So it's not just laying dormant there. But I think where the most of you guys are at in the chat is you still at that stage. You should forget about building accounts. That should not even be in your mind. The only thing in your mind now, for I want to almost say 95% of you, is you just want to get consistency. This is literally, this should be, forget the money. You focused on completely the wrong thing. Your only focus should be to firstly close out weeks positive. Even if you start with 1,000 Rand, whatever, close out the week positive, then build on to closing out the month positive. Okay, then start out by closing the quarter positive, and then closing out the year positive. So a lot of you guys, your trading plan is in months. Your trading plan should be in years. All right. So if you are unprofitable for the last, I don't know how many years, many months, stop completely what you're doing. Forget about that money goals that you've set and start building your base. Like I said, weekly, this is where your base is going to start. You're going to start off with trying to get consistent weekly. Then you're going to build to monthly. Then you're going to build to quarterly. And then you're going to build to yearly. Now, here's the thing that's keeping you guys back is the following. This is what is keeping you guys back. And I'm dropping gems here for you guys, and I'm not even charging you. Quarterly. What is keeping you back is the following. You think you don't have time to make money, or you've got some type of money issue and you're trying to solve a money issue with trading. The trading will just worsen your money condition. Let me just be very frank and real about that. So forget the money. If you can get this down, even with a small amount of money, and you can build the plan, the psychology, it is very easy to scale. You can be making small amounts of money for 3 to 5 years, and within a space of 1 year or 2 years, you can literally make more than you've made in your previous 8 years. Okay, and that's what you guys forget, is that this section right here is maybe going to take you 3 to 5 years. But then once you've got it down, this right here is where the magic happens. And very few get there because they want to jippo the system, and you can't. For instance, if you look at Jade Cap, the guy that's got the biggest, I think currently the biggest payout on record from a prop firm, he will tell you straight that in his last 3, he's been trading, I think, I don't even want to lie, guys, I think it's 15 years. 15 years that he's been trading. And the other day I saw him post that he said in his last 2 years of trading, he's made more than the previous 12 years of trading. Think about that. 2 years of trading literally made more than 13 years of trading. So it's more a mindset thing, guys. There's a lot of strategies that work. There's a lot of ways to grab your pips from the market. It's more a mental thing. Trading is very, very mental, and if your path or your direction for what you want to achieve with your trading is not clear, you're just building on sand. You can just open up a money market with your bank. There's a mindset limit where I can't pass when trading. Why is gold not going up? Look for gold, sir. I don't have any gold here, but I'll ask the guys to look around here for... Must we look for gold? Where? Where shall I find? Oh, look at gold. I thought look for gold. Okay, I'm looking at gold. Let me just focus on gold here. Blink, 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 blink. And yeah, it's still here. Guys, I'm not doing anything on gold. This you see, this is you're gonna make me cry here. I'm dropping gems here for you, and you're asking me, are we buying or selling after I told you that the EMA is flat? We don't have any real direction here yet. We are still basically trading within the first basically 30-minute range, and then you ask why you've deposited so much money into a trading account. This is why. All right, because please take a deep breath. You don't have to be in a trade. Fubs, happy birthday. I didn't even know I'm off, boys. Going to enjoy my birthday. I think that's just Fubs letting us know it's his birthday. Fubs, hope you have an incredible and a blessed year, my brother. This is to Fubsy, Chad. Fabazana Manana. Jakes, that's what I said, bro. Guys were sleeping on that strat from last week, and the boys ate, so... Yo, that's why the Oaks... Yeah, Jared, that's a very good one, my brother. Just having that ability to mentally reset. Just reset. Step away. Because I think that's where guys go on full tilt. But that's that death loop of training, guys. Go watch it. It's most probably the most underrated video that I've done. And I think for a lot of you guys, that right there is already gonna shake your mind as to where you are potentially. This one right here, that one right there, death loop of traders. Okay, look at that chunky hunk there. All right. Big market lumber there. We want to buy and the market want to sell. My brother, the market has not done shit. It's literally in the middle of the 30-minute opening range. It has not done anything. maybe you have already bought, and that's why you're saying we want to buy. Maybe you must say we are in buys from here, and you've been adding buys. Now, Conan, here's the thing, my brother. Do the following. I don't know if you're trading personal or prop. For the session, this is what I do. I give myself 2 trades, okay? If the first one's a loss, I will wait. If the setup presents itself again, then I'll take one more jab at it. And then after that, boom, done. Probability is that I probably have a wrong read on the market, or the market is just not giving direction. Second session, 2 trades. That is what I'll look for. If the first one's a loss, second one's a win, done. Call it. Then, mentally, you should cut off from trading your P&L. Trader Tom Dante, most probably in all the years of following him on Twitter or X, I enjoy his stuff, very good banter as well. The one thing that I think he posted it like 7 or 6 years ago, and it was just like it clicked, and he said never trade your P&L. Okay, what does that mean? You thinking about money that you've lost in the last year, and now every time you take a trade, it's like, I need to make back that money. It started off like this for you, and maybe not you, for somebody. You started off, you lost 1,000 Rand that week. Now your entire focus the next week is, I need to make back that 1,000. Now in that pursuit of making back that 1,000, you lose another 1,000. Now all of a sudden it's 2,000. Now after 6-7 weeks, that 2,000 is now already like 20,000. And now mentally all you're thinking about is, I just want to take a trade and I want to make back that 20K as quickly as possible. That is the wrong mindset. Forget it. You lost that 20K. It's not coming back anytime soon. What you need to focus on now is just your session. And if your risk is 1,000 Rand per trade to make 1,000, you go for that. And slowly but surely you'll see after a month, okay, that 20K that I was down, I'm back at break even. How did I get there? Not by focusing on the 20K that I lost, but by focusing on my process of showing up every day, taking my trade, getting out of the market, onto the next session. That is how trading your P&L will kill you, Conan. So psychologically you need to break from your P&L. I hope that makes sense, my brother. Chunky hunky. Chris, have you heard of a barbell model for a trading risk management plan? And if so, no. Does it? It sounds like you gym, or you have to do barbell curls when you take a loss. Is that what it is? Donnie, that is the thing, my brother. Instagram will tell you that you are one trade away from changing your entire family's life. You're one trade away from retiring your entire family, retiring your entire bloodline. And I'm like, bro, how is that one trade away when you're going for 5 pips? Okay, how am I going to change my family's life by going for small pip? You hear what I'm saying? There's water. Would you just get my key in my car? Then you can open up from here. Do you know where my car key is? There's some water for me. Oh, wait. Okay, that's fine. I didn't see it. I was looking for it. And let me be realistic with you guys. Why I say one trade cannot change your life. Let's look at the average daily range of gold. The average daily range currently of gold is $131. So 1,300 pips. Now let's say realistically, what's up, Dogga? Let's say realistically, let's look at the bottom wick. The average low wick is 65. So that's already basically half of your average daily range. But let's say for some reason you get an absolute sniper entry. Let's say for instance here, you grab a sniper entry there and your stop is just below there. And you're going to go for your average daily range. You literally sniped the low of the day. That is a 12.5 R trade. Okay. Let's say you've got a 10,000 Rand account and the broker allowed you to risk 20,000 Rand, for instance, on that trade. That is now 240,000 Rand made. How is that changing anybody's life? Because now you've got this idea that you're going to try and do this again and you're going to throw that 240k in there. If you can do this twice, if lightning strikes twice, then I would say, okay, shit, you've got now all of a sudden you're sitting with basically 2.5 million. Now all of a sudden, let's maybe say you're 2 trades away from changing your life, but 1 trade away. Hey, Chad, gotta be real here with one another. Basically a strict risk plan, but saving 10% of profits to pass accounts to full port, but it's sustainable. Gareth, pop it to me on Instagram, the barbell strat. How you all see gold, guys? I think protected order flow. Now it's going for next. So I saying lift weights, get lots of dates from what I've seen at the gym. Like I told you guys, the best that I've done in my trading was when I didn't even look at my daily and weekly P&L. I was literally just focused on my next trade. End of the week when I'm done, I'll go to history and I'll look at the week, and then I'll be surprised because it felt like I didn't make a lot of money, and then it was like flip, it was actually a good week. Rajana. I'm gonna be honest, Raja's one of the best marketers. I want to say the best marketing stunt that he's pulled, like the best, was when he started his broker, and this was very. I have to give him props for this. started his own broker. So he started trading a $50,000 account and only took wins off stream. This was Raja, only wins off stream. And he basically grew that account to like $1 million. So now, firstly, he sells more mentorships. Okay. Secondly, he's now selling his broker because now you think, shit, this broker must be legit. This guy made $1 million on this broker and is showing withdrawals. And then thirdly, he's selling all of the rest of his little boot camps and magic keys and the rest. But that trading on his own broker was absolutely gold. Like, I don't even think anyone thought about that. Sell now. Okay, you sell, my brother. Let us know how it goes. So I gotta give him props for that. That was, I don't think my moral compass is that skewed that I would ever have the, yeah, Chad, I can't do that. I can't do that. Bullshitting people. I've watched a little bit of it, but it's what's happening now with the Bugatti. Ja, maar sê quatlo, my brother. The reason we don't do that here is that there's a lot of people that join and leave the stream. Okay, there's a lot of people that don't really make calculated decisions. And now you come on here providing a trading signal without context. Secondly, you're not authorized to provide financial advice. And then secondly, there's zero context to what you said. Sell now. You're already in drawdown. You said sell now there. So rather say, if you want to share something, rather say, hey guys, I'm potentially looking for a sell based off A, B, C, and D. Let me know what you guys think. But coming in here saying stuff like sell now, no context, that is, I can see you are an impulsive trader that just deposits. Shouldn't do that, my brother. Alright. Never assume. Kribo, what's your take on the 714 method? Who do you think taught Mr. 714 the method? He was one of my first students. Remember, I mentored everybody in the industry, even ICT. So I like the 714. There you can see, guys. I don't know if you can see it. This was after I taught Mashaya the 714. He still came back to thank me. Nah, I'm kidding, Chad. I don't really know what the 714 is. I actually asked Mashaya the one time I saw him. I obviously won't disclose. I've got respect for the brother, so I won't disclose. There is logic in what I don't know the full. He literally gave me like elevator pitch on it. So I can't really. Have you ever mentored Mad Charts? I wouldn't say mentored Mad Charts. He was in a WhatsApp group we had many years ago, and all of us were sharing charts and stuff, and he was relatively young at that stage, and he was quite active in the group, and I never thought that things would turn out the way. Like very humble kid, like wanting to learn, and I sat down with him, we had sessions, and I still remember then that group disbanded, like nobody was posting in it. And then I remember a couple of years later, the one guy I knows told me, like, yo, they found this trader and he's a machine and this and that. And I'm like, wow, no, it's good. And 4 months later, I'm like, they had a PAM with him, like a percentage allocated money manager with FX primers. And I'm like, no, that's great, awesome. And I asked him, like, how's that portfolio going? And he's like, no, that trader blew it. And I'm like, who is this trader? And he's like, no, Mario Nell. And I was like, hey, man, he's still a youngster. And then they actually gave him money as well. This gentleman, I'm not going to say names, him and his brother. Then he phoned me afterwards and saying, no, they gave him the money and the guy's not coming back and this and that. And then I actually helped him with that first FSCA case to basically report him. I don't know if they got their money back. Anyways, and then I still chatted to Murray, and I said, my brother, you young, stop managing. Like, you can't even manage your own money. Like, stop managing other people's money. The same as what I've told Shaquille Samai as well. Like, don't put that pressure on yourself. Okay? Don't do it. There's the right structures aren't in place for you to do it, first and foremost. Secondly, you are way too connected to the audience to trade their money as well. So how can you be objective in your trading when somebody's telling you, yo, I need this money and you need to make money? You can't. So and then obviously it got ugly when I saw that Mad Charts thing, and I still commented on the one, and I'm like, yo, bro, this guy doesn't know shit about trading, and yeah, he's now in a mask. And then he still told me, don't hate on success, this and that. And I'm like, bro, but it's fake. The car's fake. Everything is fake about it. And I don't wish anything bad on him. Honestly, as with anything, just be real and raw. Be honest. There's, like, why do you want to live under that cloud of now? I don't know, Chad. Why would you want to live under that cloud of this false persona, this false lifestyle? Now you need to worry about what somebody says in your Discord, or somebody posts something, you're up awake at night. Actually, at one stage, he actually would pause his comments on his Discord. Like, you can't comment while he goes to sleep, because he constantly needs to moderate it. Like, that's most no life. Gareth Thury, the edge is not in any strategy, my brother. The edge is in trade management. That is where your edge is. Money management and trade management. The edge is, as much as we would think the edge is in entering trades, the edge is in managing the trade. I'm just going to run to the bathroom. Guys, we're still within the 30-minute range. That's what I'm saying. Guys losing their minds. Mr. Sell Now. You see, that's why you don't sell now without context. What did you sell off? Mr. Sell now, what I can give you a tip is if we're trading above the 200, look for buys. When we trade below it, look for sells. So that was a naughty sell you took there. Sniper entry to poverty and drawdown. That guy from Money Tribe cannot be mentored. And guys, I didn't mentor Messiah. It's a joke. Before you guys go, Chris says, I didn't mentor Messiah. It's a joke. Please. Because I know people say and do weird things. But I'll be back now. Where's the Chinese New Year? 45%. I told you guys, I'll do a 90% discount for you guys, but then we only pay you out 10% of your profits. How does that sound? You want a 90% discount, but you want a 90% payout. That doesn't add up. Do you want a full payout or do you want a partial payout? Spend and win, buy an account and risk it to double it or lose it special. I'm working on something exciting for you guys on VF. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I think I don't want to disclose too much because we obviously have the other guys watching here. But let me just say, I don't think it's ever been done by any prop firm. I must still sit with the dev team and map out how long it's gonna take. I'm just building out the logic for it. There's no trade yet, my brothers, so there cannot be a stop loss. And if you're struggling with having a stop loss placement, go to Super Trend. This is most probably the easiest way to establish a stop loss. You can put it on 1.6, and then you use, if you enter longs, you use that green line for where you can trail your stop, and if you enter sells, you can have it on that red line. Okay, that's the easiest way for new traders to know more or less where to put their stops. Okay. Again, kindly note that this is not financial advice. These streams are purely for educational and entertainment purposes only. This trading carries a large amount of risk not suitable to all investors. So for that reason, please consult with your financial advisor before making any financial decision, as you may lose part or all of your trading capital. What you can do is, if somebody says sell now in the chat, you buy now. You just do the opposite. You could already be break even on that sell now signal. And then when they say, let's say for instance they say buy now, then you close your buy and then you sell now. Easy money. That's why if you guys are smart and you in the signal groups of some of these mentors, just do the opposite. I promise you, you will do well. Very true, but who are they working for? Who are you mentioning? Who's working for who now? And one thing with financial advisors is, if you ever sit with your financial advisor again and they suggest to you that this fund is the fund to invest in, then ask him to show you his investment statement. How much money does he have invested there? Nah, he's an agent, my bro. a wallet in a funded account. Flippy, I don't think so, because then if you've got a wallet, you are then effectively operating as a broker. So I think that the issue is not with the issue is with the regulation. Because if you've got a wallet there, then you become a broker and you're not a prop firm anymore. That changes the legal aspect of the prop firm then. Sorry, Flippy, I missed your question there, my brother. Chris, don't give the trade secret away. More agents in here than MI6. Hey. I honestly don't mind if you share a trade idea, guys. 100%. Don't feel shy to share, but just give context. Even in Project G, we don't allow sharing signals. You can share a trade idea, and you can say, I'm looking for the following based on the next 3 facts. Then at least when you look at it, it can be like, okay, John is looking for a long because we broke out of this counter trend line. He's waiting for us to break out of the first 30-minute range. He's then waiting for a pullback into a 15-minute breakout resistance zone, and is then going to wait for a bullish engulfing candle to go long, and his stop loss is down there because that makes sense. But just throwing shit against the wall and no. Dude, I've watched that video like 4 times now already. Wait, let me try and get it on you. Oh my goodness, guys. Let me get it on you. Give me a second. Oh, that was classic. Let me get it on you. Bro said the first time I actually saw them and you were still playing the flute while we were running, they knew exactly where we were. Little rats. Guys, this was me and Jordan last night. Let me find it here. US 30. Wait, where's Jordeo? Okay, wait, let me download it. Okay, just a little bit of a backstory. I saw guys running, and let me just pause it here. And I still told Jordan, I think I saw guys running, so we're busy on our way to the extract. Okay, this is Jordan. So he's playing his flute. I already shot the one guy down. There's another guy in the bush somewhere. You'll hear the other gentleman talking in the background.
Where's the guy?
This shall be the song that plays at your funeral. No. You will die a slow and painful death. Do you understand?
Play the
Hello,
flute quickly.
Squire.
Play the flute.
Kirill autism.
Okay, let's.
Oh, Jordan, that was pure cinema, my dude. Hey Chris, do you use the point of control indicator on trading view? Yes, I use the point of control indicator. The point of control indicator is very good, especially if you try to trade breakouts, even if you trading. So for instance, for me now, looking at the point of control, there's no advantage for us. Okay. And the reason I say that is because we can see that volume, I want to say almost 80% of the volume today is spread across this entire range. What you ideally want to see on your volume profile is you want to see either something like this where markets are ranging, and this is your volume profile and your point of control sits there, and you've got relatively low volume, something like this, a P. Okay, because what will happen is that all of this volume is accumulating at one spot, and then once it breaks out, it's gonna seek new volume areas. Okay, or if it breaks down, it's also going to run into low volume areas, and we know low volume areas price slices through them. Okay, so that is the ideal. Or the other ideal is that you've got something like this. Okay, so you've got, let's say your point of control is on top there, and then later on it shifts down here. Then what you've got is you've got a nice target. This little low volume box area is a low resistance area. So if we start breaking through, it's going to be a quick move up to that level. Because to a degree, markets have a memory. Okay, because previously a lot of orders sat there, and when price gets back there, it's going to obviously test the commitment of sellers. Because remember, price initially sold from there, so it's going to test again the commitment of sellers, whether sellers step in afresh or whether sellers falter and buyers start stepping into it. So very good indicator to use, very, very good. Most probably one of the most slept on indicators on TradingView. We might be breaking out. I'm not a fan of how price is moving here. I'm not a fan of this. And the reason I say I'm not a fan of this is look how we're overlapping. And when you ever hear me say overlap, it's when highs and lows overlap one another. You see how that high wasn't protected, we traded through it, now we traded up again. Now again, you've got these overlapping highs and lows. It's almost like stair stepping. It's grinding its way up. Buyers aren't really, it's going up, but there's nothing showing us solid intent. Where, for instance, this morning, the sellers, they showed business here. They showed the buyers flames. And look how much time has passed for the buyers to make up this ground that they've lost. If I just take a line here and I look at the time it took for this drop to happen, it took 2 hours and 10 minutes. And we haven't even completely erased that move down, and we already sitting at 5 hours. So just from a time perspective on its own, buyers are really fighting here to get it back up. Rixie, it could definitely. If you think about it, it could, but I don't think we should have that mindset to not. If the trade setup is there and the volume is there, we go for it. That's the unfortunate thing. See you tomorrow, my brother. Appreciate it. You guys know how it works. We take the stairs up and the lift down. Yeah, it is probably because of the holiday, 100%. Alrighty, guys, but I'm not gonna waste your time any further. There's honestly not anything that I like what I'm seeing here. Yeah, it's honestly we barely breaking out of this 30-minute opening range. What is the dollar doing? Dollar is also very consolidative, yeah. But what I will say is while we above the 200, stick to bars. We start trading below it. Look for sells. But Chad, that is going to be the... No NY stream this afternoon, correcto. Project G, I will still have a stream with you guys. Just see how markets are trading. We might grab a quick little one-to-one there on the NAS Sentinel. I think, guys, even though no trades taken today, I think there was some valuable insight shared. I hope it has made you guys think a little bit more about your trading, and I hope you guys have a an incredible week. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow morning on stream. Remember, tomorrow the double London and NYSE for you guys. Okay, and then yeah, that's the rest of the week. Will only be London, so tomorrow the double. And chat, hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys tomorrow morning. Peace and love.
living out here. That's your life. Go on, be alive. Ain't nobody living out here. Be someone who's living out here. That's your life. Go on, be alive. Ain't nobody living out here. Ain't nobody living out here. That's your life. Go on, be alive. Ain't nobody living out here. Be someone who's living out here.